Responding to hate comments part 2. Before we start, the word hate is used for the title's sake. John Rudnick said, Allah might not recognize the weight of a deed in an electron, nucleus, or quark. He'd probably think it's just too small to matter. You've misunderstood the meaning of dara in my article. The word dara in classical Arabic refers to a small particle, grain, or speck. It's often used to describe something tiny or minuscule in size. Additionally, in a broader sense, it can be used for something as small as an atom, or even smaller particles, that humans may not have discovered yet. The use of the word atom, in the translation of the Quran, is used in a poetic sense, but in reality, the word encompasses particles smaller than that. Undeadbug said, the same question, where did it come from, applies to all deities as well, by your logic. If you say he was always there, we can say that the universe and reality were also always there, and we'd both probably be wrong. It is also possible we may be a subatomic particle of an egg of a chicken waiting to see the sunshine, because it may be possible that beyond the quantum level, every particle is a whole universe in itself, which we haven't discovered yet. Look, that's why it's about what is more logical to believe, not believing in possibilities. If something is always there, it raises the question of in what state it is always there, and what causes it to either change its own state or cause something else to exist. The only logical possibility is that it must have its own inherent independent will to cause something to exist, the innate knowledge of what it can will, and the capability to create. Otherwise, it will lead to an infinite chain of causes, which is illogical. That being introduced itself as God throughout history, which means Allah in Arabic. So why not research what it says about reality and check out the Quran? Our lack of knowledge about the beginning of the universe does not imply that it was made by some sort of creator. It simply means that we don't yet know. This is similar to how ancient humans worshipped gods of thunder and lightning, because they did not know where thunder or lightning came from. Just because some people in the past got it wrong doesn't mean we should not use our reasoning to seek the truth. We don't have a lack of knowledge. We just have a lack of observation, similar to how many people believe in a multiverse, aliens, or just believe that the universe is eternal based on possibility, which I showed before leads to absurdity. We should only believe what is more logical and most likely the case, unless we find evidence it's not. Mark 10,111 said, the Quran is just another religious book with errors. Then bring them up and define the criteria of what is considered an error. Do you really believe that the universe came into existence out of nothing? Sigh. Atheists don't claim this. Theists do. I've seen atheists who even claimed they don't exist. What on earth do you guys smoke? Bill Garthright said, what will I believe after rejecting Allah? Whatever is backed up by the evidence. And what do you believe is backed up by evidence, except saying we don't know? Do you really believe the universe came into existence out of nothing? No, I don't. And I've never met an atheist who does believe that. I have met many. Basically, my answer to all of that is, I don't know, and you don't either. If you think that you do know, that's where I'm going to require evidence. Got any? Yeah, I've got many. But the problem is you guys don't consider those as evidence. So my question is, what are your criteria for evidence of something to believe that is beyond your observation? How about one piece of good evidence, specific enough and in enough detail that I can judge it for myself, that your God is real rather than just imaginary? Just one, please. Why is one too much to ask? Again, what are your criteria to accept something as evidence? You know, just like in a court of law, a judge doesn't look at one piece of evidence or argument but looks at many and passes his judgment based on what is most likely to have happened. All I hear from you guys is, we don't know. Again, the question is, how can you know when you are rejecting all the evidence we theists have given? When you want observable evidence for something beyond your observations and don't use your rationality? An example of you is like a guy in court who rejects all pieces of evidence and arguments and still demands proof without telling the criteria for how something like a criminal case should be proven. A guy was found killing a woman by the police and witnesses and on the CCTV footage. But the agnostic guy kept saying in court that witnesses can lie, CCTV footage can be faked, DNA evidence can be misleading, or doctors can lie, or that the guy was trying to put the knife out, and that's how fingerprints were on the knife. All witnesses can be lying since it's a possibility. Even if the guy himself claims, I did that, the agnostic claims he can be mentally ill or maybe pressurized. In other words, he just neutralizes every piece of argument or evidence because of possibility. That's why the Quran calls those who disbelieve after the guidance has reached them dumb, deaf, and blind. And their reasoning and sensory faculties have been sealed, and they always argue against the objective truth. So they now can't reach the truth because they rejected guidance. By the way, we cannot judge anyone else because we don't know if anyone's faculties have been permanently sealed. That's why I invite you to understand the Quran and see for yourself. It has no contradiction, nor has it been or is being changed. You can test that by buying the oldest copy of the Quran and comparing it with the digital one on the internet when it comes to its Arabic text. Someone can change the text here and there, but the Quran in its totality is preserved in people's hearts, pages, and now even in digital form. The Quran presents scientific phenomena that were not proved as scientific fact, plus it has mathematical patterns while still being not random. Search about what Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, said 1400 years ago, which were proved historically and had many future prophecies that are becoming true in our age. How can someone know the future, except by the one who can see the future? The concept of God also gives the best rational explanation for our reality. It is also proved in the cognitive science of psychology that it is the natural state of humans to believe in a higher power, life after death, and beings and universes beyond ours, which are found in every religion as heaven, hell, angels, and demons. Watch Daniel Hakikatju versus Dillahunty debate for references for research. If you are truly sincere, begin by understanding the Quran, which affirms that only one religion was sent by God, named differently by humanity. These religions have now been changed as part of a test. Miraculously, other religious scriptures still prophesy about Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, even though they contain many contradictions and versions of the same book. You can watch Zakir Naik discussing Muhammad, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him in other religious books. If you are truly sincere, begin by understanding the Quran, which affirms that only one religion was sent by God, named differently by humanity. These religions have now been changed as part of a test. Miraculously, other religious scriptures still prophesy about Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, even though they contain many contradictions and versions of the same book. You can watch Zakir Naik discussing Muhammad, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him in other religious books. Hey, are you still here? Don't forget to read the comment I left for you and follow me with notifications for latest videos.